When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
And welcome back as we get set for game two, but we may not be sticking around too long as rain's starting to sprinkle here at the ballpark. We are going to hopefully let this one get out of here, but it's not looking good right now, folks. As the rain is starting to get a little bit more consistent, too consistent for my likings. But we are going to try to make a few adjustments here as we're moments away from that Renaissance Bank opening pitch here in game two. So forgive me for a second, ladies and gentlemen, as you hear me moving around. I'm just trying to get some very valuable equipment out of the rain. And hopefully just a few little sprinkles for right now, but not feeling like that too much.
We're getting ready, folks, some scores around the MACJC and softball. Pearl River defeated Northwest in game one of their doubleheader, 14-2.
All right, so we're going to stay with it so far.
County defeated Baton Rouge in game one by a score of 11-1.
As the rain does continue to fall. It's kind of slacked up for a second.
Mississippi Delta 21-1.
So we're going to hang out here, folks. So as I said, if the rain does continue to fall consistently, we're going to get out of here. And we'll try to update extra on Twitter as we are out in the elements here at Harrison Central High School, playing in a old school field where it's about 2:30 down the lines. An old slow pitch field. For those in North Mississippi, you remember West Union, Hulka high school fields before? I think West Union updated theirs. I don't know if Hulka has, but kind of has those same dimensions. Just a really big ballpark, and it worked in the favor of Gulf Coast in the first game. Out of their 9 hits, 6 of those went for extra bases. The Indians hit 3 that would have been out of the ballpark in any other ballpark in the league, and went back and looked at it, would have resulted in 5 extra runs. But that's the part of the game. You can't win it on ifs, ands, or buts.
Edged out Gulf Coast by a score of 9-8 in 9 innings.
And so we're getting set here for game two between ICC and Gulf Coast. And let's take a look at today's lineups, and we'll start with the Indians. It'll be Corey Childs leading things off here for the Indians. She'll be playing center field. Batting second will be Samantha Conley. She'll be catching in game two. Shelby Newsom will be batting third. She'll be the first baseman. Batting fourth will be the DP. That'll be Macy Cox. Batting fifth will be Mackenzie Piper. She'll be in right field. Batting sixth will be the left fielder, Hannah Williams. Batting seventh will be the shortstop, Bailey Springfield. And batting eighth will be Olivia Burns, who will be pitching here in game two. And Joanna Vasquez will be the third baseman. She'll be batting ninth. The flex will be Madison Carnes, the second baseman. And this will be the lineup here for Gulf Coast in game two. Wall will lead things off. She's the DP. Triplett bats second. She's the shortstop. Garrett will be at second base, batting third. Catching will be White. She'll be batting fourth. Batting fifth will be Hobson, the first baseman. Mingo will be pitching here in game two. She'll be batting sixth. Batting seventh will be Hembry. She'll be playing third base. Batting eighth will be Massey. And batting ninth will be the center fielder, Sexton. Massey will be out in right field. The flex will be Davis, she'll be out in left field. So we're just moments away from that Renaissance Bank opening pitch here in game 2.
Leading off the top of the first for Itawamba here in game 2.
As it's going to be Corey Childs
From New Site, Mississippi.
to start things off here. We're only going to have one camera to broadcast, as it's just been a little hectic trying to get everything around here. The Renaissance Bank opening pitch coming your way at 5:56, and it goes for a ball. So a 5:56 Renaissance Bank opening pitch for game 2. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. RenaissanceBank.com. That pitch, missing low and outside, 2-0 now, is the count here to Corey Childs. If you're just now joining us, ICC dropped a 7-4 contest in the first game of the day. Mingo, her third pitch outside, 3-0 now, is the count. Still a good crowd out for ICC making the trip down here. Got a chance to meet Samantha Conley's mother in between games as that pitch high for a ball, so 4 straight pitches, and Corey Childs will get the free pass. Of course, had a chance to meet Sam's dad a couple of times throughout the season. A little bit closer trip for them coming out to the ballpark as they're from New Orleans. So a much better trip for them versus us coming up here to Gulfport this afternoon. This is Sam Conley at the plate now. That pitch missing high and outside for a ball. So Mingo getting the start here in game 2, struggling to find the zone early. A 4-pitch walk to Corey Childs, and now behind the count 1-0 to Conley. That pitch clips that outside corner. 1-1 now is the count here to Samantha Conley. Baseball on the Blue Channel. Lee Adams, Raphael Henry back home in Fulton, bringing you the action. They're up against Southwest. It's 5-2. Runner goes. Throw down is not in time as the ball gets away, as Corey Childs steals another base. Corey's going to be closing in, if she hasn't already, surpassed the career stolen bases mark. 5-2 in the middle of the third of game 2. ICC up over Southwest in baseball action. That pitch right down Broadway, 2-2 now, is the count here on Samantha Conley. So a runner at second. We're in the top of the first, game 2 here between ICC and Gulf Coast. A must win here if the Indians want to try to host the state tournament. That pitch inside for a ball, 3-2 now is the count. And now they're going to appeal on the infield and see if she went. The infield umpire said she did not, so the count does stay at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, and a runner on second. Conley fouls this one back off the netting, and we'll stay at 3-2. Well, as I said, we'll stick with the contest as long as we can today, as rain is in the area. Really wasn't forecasted to be in the area, at least not until later tonight. Got a few sprinkles as we went on the air here in game 2. Sprinkled on a couple of times. There's a shot to the gap, and this is going to score a run. Childs had to check up to make sure it wasn't caught. The relay in is nowhere in time, and Samantha Conley gets the Indians off to a good start with an RBI single. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. A big-time hit there for Sam. As that one just drops to the gap. As we said, a big ballpark. What typically turn into routine fly balls like that can drop for a base hit. And that was a big one there, as ICC now takes a 1-0 lead. Shelby Newsom takes that pitch high for a ball. Now Shelby put a charge into one that nearly got out of this ballpark, folks. I think they said it was roughly 230, 235 down the line. That would have been a no-doubter back in Fulton. It would have been a 2-run shot. As Newsom takes that pitch across, 1-1 now is the count. No outs and a runner on first. That's Samantha Conley, who reached on an RBI single. That scored Corey Childs, who walked, stole second, and scored with ease on that single by Conley. This pitch popped up. Center fielder's going to have to hurry, and she's going to get underneath it for the putout. Well, that's one of those situations. What do you do? in a big field like this, do you play back and stand the chance of those type of plays like Conley hit dropping in front of you? Do you play up and gamble on the pitch on hard hit balls getting over your head? Gulf Coast did pretty well of that in the first game of the day. ICC not so much. That pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count now with one out. This is Macy Cox, the DP at the plate. Macy fouls this one off towards the hitting facility here at Harrison Central. Jones fans will be keeping a close eye on this one, as right now they're tied with ICC for that conference top spot in conference play. But ICC does have that sweep over Jones. So they do hold the tiebreaker there, but ICC don't have any much more wiggle room. This pitch popped up. Left fielder's going to have to hurry and makes the diving play. What a play out there in left field to rob Macy Cox of a base hit. So we said, do you play deep, play shallow? And that time, the left fielder Davis had just enough speed to get to it, got dirty, and got the second out of the game. And now this is going to be Mackenzie Piper coming to the plate. Conley had to retreat back to first. So Piper will dig in here, trying to spark a two-out rally for the Indians. Piper takes that first pitch high for a ball. Looks like Gulf Coast already got somebody starting to get loose in the bullpen down there. Mingo, though, has kind of settled down. Piper takes that pitch across for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. Conley is at first. Mackenzie Piper at the plate. ICC with a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first, game two. Runner goes, throw down is not in time. Ball gets away to the outfield, but not far enough to do anything. So a stolen base there for Samantha Conley. So Conley moves into scoring position with 2 outs. Anything down to the gap here could score and run easy. Piper looks at that pitch inside for a ball. 3-1 now is the count here to the sophomore out of Pell City, Alabama. If you've never been to Pell City, if you've gone from Birmingham to Atlanta, you've driven right through it. Kind of a little sharp turn in the road. As Piper takes that pitch across for a strike. 3-2 now is the count. I don't know if it's necessarily halfway between the two, but if you didn't stop on the way out of Atlanta, looking for a rest stop, Pell City's a good stop. Piper lifts one. This one's got a chance to get over the head, and it does. Piper will have her second double of the day, and it's a big one there as ICC takes a 2-0 lead. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. A big-time hit there for Mackenzie Piper as that scores Samantha Conley. As we said, we only have one camera today. The HDMI converter kind of going haywire on us up top, so we're only going to be able to have this one view. And so now with 2 outs, this is going to be Hannah Williams. Williams takes that first pitch across for a strike. 2-0 ICC, a nice answer. After dropping a tough 7-4 decision in the first game of the day, they've got a 2-0 lead here in game 2. Williams takes that pitch high for a ball. Again, that's another one of those that I don't think it would have got out of the ballpark in Fulton. May have not been a double, but because of the big field, it was able to go for extra bases. Williams takes that pitch inside corner for a strike. 1-2 now is the count here on Hannah Williams. Pitch in the dirt, blocked up nicely that time by the catcher. Keeps it in front of her and keeps the runner at second. Not a whole lot of room behind the catcher and home plate. If the ball gets away, if you got some speed, you could possibly advance. And they're swinging strike 3. Williams just could not get a hold of that one And that goes for the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Mingo. But the Indians do get 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom half of the first inning. ICC leads it 2-0. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide proper diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your eye appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the bottom half of the first inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead after a RBI single by Samantha Conley and a 2-out RBI double by Mackenzie Piper. Gives the Indians a 2-0 lead. It was Childs and Conley each scoring those runs for the Indians. So this will be Wall coming to the plate.
The DP, number 14, Maddie Wall.
So Wall will dig in, trying to spark the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the second. ICC needs to earn a split this afternoon here at Gulf Coast on the campus of Harrison Central High School. As this is Wall, the DP, leading things off. Pops this pitch back and out of play, foul for strike 1. Harrison Central, it said it takes about 25-30 minutes to get here from Wiggins. It did not. And I was driving as if I was going on a Sunday afternoon cruise to get down here. This pitch fouled off, out of play. 0-2 now is the count here on Wall.
Let's go, Olivia!
Olivia Burns in the circle here for ICC, which has been the case all season. Bailey goes game 1, Olivia goes game 2. It's like Olivia having an issue with her spikes. Got some
Only Olivia.
dirt in her shoe or some rocks in her shoes. So 0-2 now is the count. Well, if she gives up a hit here, you go back and put the rocks back in your shoe, Olivia. This pitch popped up, trouble. But a great play. Madison Carnes, as she goes outside of your screen, makes a diving effort to rob Wall of a base hit. And a big-time play there for Madison Carnes, as that was a nasty landing as well. She kind of got twisted up, but a great effort there for the sophomore out of Ecru. And with 1 out now, this will be Triplett coming to the plate. Infield adjusting in a little bit as Triplett, a slap hitter. Takes that first pitch high for a ball. You see JoJo Vasquez sneaking in closer and closer. You got to be a little crazy to play third base on this level. That pitch outside corner, missing for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Try to find you some scoreboard updates from the baseball game going on there in Fulton. This pitch fouled off the netting, strike 1. After 3 complete in game 2, baseball leading Southwest 5-2. That's over there on the Blue Channel if you'd like to check in on it. This pitch popped up. It's going to get out of play. Williams chasing over, just ran out of real estate as it went over the fence. So they'll retrieve the ball and bring it back in here. 2-2 is the count now. So winning the 2-2 offering here. Low and outside, 3-2 now is the count. So count goes full here on Triplett. Ground ball at the middle. They were favoring her to the left side, so she snuck that one through for a base hit. Nothing you really could have done there at shortstop by Bailey Springfield, as they did shade her more towards the left side, and she was able to just sneak that one through for the first hit of the day.
Bulldog second baseman number 19, Dalen Garrett.
This is going to be Garrett at the plate now. Garrett stands in, takes that first pitch across for a strike. Updating Twitter, be sure and follow us on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. If you're away from your computer or your radio, you can get updates and more on Twitter. Change up, popped up. Springfield comes in, calls everyone off, and squeezes it for the putout. 2 outs now. And this will be the catcher, White, coming to the plate, the fourth batter in lineup this evening here for Gulf Coast.
Now batting with 2 outs, the catcher number 11, Jada White.
We'll give you a Bank of Oklahoma scoreboard update after this pitch across for a strike. Pearl River gets 3 in the top of the 8th to sweep Northwest. Rangers fall to 16-6. 8-2 in conference play as they fall 9-6 in game 2 in extra innings. Pearl River sweeps. Runner goes, swung on a miss. Throw down is in time. Let's take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Caught stealing was Triplett, 2-6 on the putout. No doubt on that one as Springfield applied the tag about 2 steps away from the bag, and the Indians get an unconventional 3-up, 3-down inning there. Can the Indians ride some momentum into the top of the second? They lead it 2-0. Let's take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked number 1 in America's community and junior college systems. number 1, but now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Just got an update on Meg Sullivan, and looks like everything's going to be okay with Meg, as there's a big raindrop that time. Don't need any rain, as we are out in the elements right now. ICC leading 2-0 here in Game 2 at Gulf Coast.
For Etowamba, the shortstop.
This is going to be Bailey Springfield to lead things off. Meg, you know she's okay because she said, just make sure I get out of Gulfport with my Crocs. So I told her I'd make sure that happened. Springfield takes that pitch high for ball 2. 2-0 now is the count here on Bailey Springfield. For the Indians, it'll be the 7-8-9 batters. Springfield, Burns, and Vasquez due up here in the top of the second inning where it's 2-0. That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here on Springfield. Kind of weird weather. The sun sneaks out every once in a while. Is that pitch missing low? 3-1 now is the count. There's a lot of clouds around us. It's just, luckily so far for us, the rain has not really done more than kind of just spittered and sputtered a little bit. As Springfield pops this one up, third baseman, shortstop going after it. Shortstop can't get to it. Ow, rough landing there for the shortstop, as her momentum carried her into the base of the fence, and Coach Kurt rushing over in a hurry to make sure she's okay. And good sign there from Triplett popping up and getting a nice round of applause from the crowd after she was able to pop up after that one. Yeah, that was a nasty fall that time, and luckily she's a lot more flexible than me. If that had been me, I would have said, bring the shovel, go ahead and put me 6 foot under. Springfield, hard hit ball, slow roller to the shortstop, long throw in the dirt, but scooped up nicely. That one sounded a lot better off the bat than it actually was. A slow roller that time, and Triplett able to get the first out of the inning, and now up will be Burns.
Indian pitcher number 3, Olivia Burns.
So Olivia Burns, who is pitching here in game 2, working with a 2-0 lead. Swings the first pitch she sees, pops it up, and this one's going to fall safely. And actually, first baseman could have had a play on it, just was not familiar with the ballpark and thought she ran out of real estate. Stopped for a second, and luckily for the Indians, she did that because she still had plenty of room to run. Burns fouls this one out of play towards the concession stand for strike 2. Well, if we do have to break away from the game, we will try to update Twitter as much and as detailed as we can. But hopefully we will not have to do that, as a few raindrops continue to fall here. That pitch up high, 1-2 now is the count. And this pitch fouled out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2. So 1-2 is the count, and this one fouled out of play. Well, Burns making Mingo earn her keep inside the circle here, as she's fouled off 4 pitches in this at-bat that I remember, probably more than that. 1-2 remains the count. And this one fouled off. Good job keeping this at-bat alive here for Olivia Burns. Just got to find a way to win this battle here. Might have to get a few more balls in here for Gulf Coast. So we're going to relay that one back in from the concession stand. Actually, 2 or 3 of them in from the concession stand. Actually, 4 of them, and that one nearly hit the poor girl at second base. So they asked for 1, they get 4. So little relays of softballs all around for everybody. We got some more back in here, and Olivia Burns sitting with a 1-2 count. So 1-2 is the count here to Burns. Reaches down, grabs it, and it sneaks through past a diving shortstop for a base hit. Nice job by Olivia Burns finding a way to win the battle there. 3rd hit of the game for the Indians. Good effort by Triplett over at short, just could not come up with it. That was some plays that the Bulldogs were making in the first game of the day. Luckily for the Indians, not able to come up with it there. And so now with one out and a runner on first, this will be JoJo Vasquez coming to the plate. 2-0 is your score. ICC with the lead, trying to build on that here in the top of the second in game 2. The Indians fell 7-4 in the first game of the day. JoJo shows bunt, lays it down nicely. Only one play, and that's over, and it's an error. E1 on the throw, and that's allowing the runner to get to third. Well, kind of caught him by surprise that time, did the Indians. And an error on the throw. Luckily, though, nice job by the right fielder backing up her teammate defensively. The ball did not get that far away. If it gets further away, the run's able to score. So now, with runners on the corners, Corey Childs will come to the plate here for the Indians. So one out, runners on the corners here for ICC. That pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Vasquez will steal second without a throw. So now runners in scoring position. Vasquez got pretty good speed over there at second base. Something down to the outfield could double up the lead here for the Indians in the second. One out, runners on second and third. That pitch missing low and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. So waiting on the 1-1 offering here from Mingo. And it's a beauty. Inside corner of the plate for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. One ball, two strikes, one out. 2-0 ICC with the lead. Top of the second. Ooh, borderline pitch not going the way of the Bulldogs there. 2-2 now is the count. Samantha Conley is on deck. The sophomore from New Site, Corey Childs at the plate. Swung on and missed for strike three. Nice job on the rise ball that time. Childs just could not find it. That is the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Mingo. And now there's two outs, and this is going to be Samantha Conley. Sam had an RBI single, stole a base, scored a run, part of a two-run top of the first. She takes that pitch outside corner for a strike. So looking for a two-out hit here for the Indians. Something that Gulf Coast did pretty well a couple of times in the first game of the day. That pitch, a beauty, right down Broadway. Conley, almost as if she stepped in the batter's box, and Mingo was waiting on her to step in and then deliver the pitch. Conley just did not quite get set enough to take a chop. That pitch in the dirt blocked up nicely that time by White. Runners not able to advance. 1-2 now is the count here on Conley. Talked about Sam from Mendeville, Louisiana. Pops this one up. Trouble. Will it drop? Nope. The wind drifted it over towards the left fielder just enough for her to get there for the putout to end the inning. So the Indians put runners in scoring position, something they did 8 times in game 1. Could not come up with anything. And they get no runs on one hit, one error, and 2 left on base. We'll move to the bottom of the second inning, where it'll be the 4-5-6 batters due up. White, Hobson, and Mingo. Right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus. What?
You need a hot grill
and an ice-cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgating 101.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back to action as White, who was at the plate when Triplett was caught trying to steal, to end the first, so she'll get a fresh count here. Olivia Burns still in the circle here for the Indians. ICC with a 2-0 lead.
Leading off for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the second.
As we get set here for the
Catcher number 11, Jada White.
bottom of the second inning. That pitch up high for a ball. Wind starting to pick up once again here at the ballpark. Swung on a miss. Nice little rise ball that time out of Burns. And this one lifted. Childs goes over, does make the play. Thought there for a second, went in and out of her glove, but Corey showing off some of that speed out there in center field, covering a lot of territory. Makes the sliding catch for out number 1.
First baseman number 8, Maya Hobson.
And now this will be Hobson coming to the plate. She's playing first base here in game 2. That pitch missing low and inside for a ball.
Let's go, Olivia.
Hobson, the 5th batter in the lineup. Jam. Springfield gets it, throws it over, draws her off the bag, but smart play that time by Shelby Newsom. The throw drew her off, but Newsom was able to apply the tag and get the second out of the inning. And now this is going to be Mingo, the pitcher, coming to the plate. 2 outs and nobody on here. Bottom of the second, ICC with a 2-0 lead. This pitch fouled off the netting for strike 1. Have to apologize, I've gotten a case of the yawns here. In the bottom of the second, this pitch fouled off the netting for strike 2. 0-2 now is the count here on the pitcher, Mingo. So the Indians trying to get another 3-up, 3-down inning here. They got it the unconventional way in the last game after Triplett singled but was caught stealing to end the inning. Set up on the outside, seeing if you couldn't get her to chase one that time. Mingo did not. Holds off. Takes that for a ball. And there's strike 3. Nicely done that time. Paints the corner and gets the first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game to end the second inning. 3-up, 3-down go the Bulldogs. We'll take a break and let's hear a word from Renaissance Bank, as we'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed. But hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the top of the third inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead here in Game 2 over Gulf Coast. Want to try to build on this lead here, as Gulf Coast showed they can get hot, and they can get hot in a hurry in the first game, as they did that early on to pick up a 7-4 win over the Indians in the first game of the day. And this will be Shelby Newsom to lead things off. She flew out to center field in her first at bat here in Game 2. Takes that pitch for a strike. That pitch missing outside. 1-1 now is the count here to the Delta State reverse transfer. She's out of Cleveland, Mississippi. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs as Newsom starts us off here in the top of the third. Hard hit ground ball. Shortstop blocked it. Throw over is in time. One hops it across. 6-3 on the putout of Newsom. Well, Newsom just needed a little bit extra pep in her step to beat that one out, as that was a good job just blocking that one down by the shortstop to be able to find that one for the out. Now up is going to be Macy Cox. Macy flew out on a nice play to left field by Davis, who made a diving catch to rob her of a base hit. Matter of fact, if she doesn't make the catch and the ball gets down, it's probably going to be an extra base hit for Macy. That pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to Macy Cox. That pitch missing low. 2-0 now is the count to Cox. Two balls, no strikes, and 1 out. Top of the third. That pitch missing low. 3-0 now is the count. So 3-0, 1 out. And that pitch right down Broadway, taking the whole way that time, was Cox. So waiting the 3-1 pitch here. Inside corner, 3-2 now is the count. So waiting the 3-2 offering, and that one high for a ball. Macy has done a good job today. She's had a pretty good eye. That's the, I believe, 4th walk of the series she's thrown. And when we talk about good eyes, we talk about the Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. Schedule your appointment to get your eyes checked at 862-EYES. 862-EYES, Cagle Eye Center. One of the 2 newest sponsors here on the ICC broadcast, along with Legend Sports Grill, right there in Fulton. That pitch right down Broadway. For strike 1 here on Mackenzie Piper. Piper doubled to score and run, was left stranded in scoring position in the first. Piper rips one. Oh, if she could have straightened that one out, she would have driven a run there, but foul ball, nothing but an exciting strike. 0-2 now is the count here on Piper. See if we can find out some information on ICC baseball, as they're trying to go for a sweep of Southwest. That's over on the Blue Channel. As this pitch popped up, trouble, and the second baseman runs in and makes the play for the putout of Piper. 2 away now. And this is going to bring up Hannah Williams. Hannah struck out swinging to end the first. Going to try to avoid ending the inning here. Indians are up 8-2 after 4 complete in Game 2 against Southwest. As we said, that one over on the Blue Channel. Well, Bryant Sedale, have yourself a day, young man. As there's a slow roller, second baseman gets it, tosses it with the glove for the putout. 4-3 Nice play over there at second base by Garrett. But yeah, let's go back and look at the day that LeBryant Sedell is having. Crushes a home run to the scoreboard in left field for his 5th RBI of the game to put the Indians up 8-2 after 4 complete there in game 2 against Southwest in baseball. We'll move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. ICC leading this one 2-0. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Did you know your child's eyes can be checked as young as 6 months of age? They do not have to know their letters or even be able to talk in order to receive a comprehensive eye exam. Your eye doctor can tell you many things just by looking at them. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide proper diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your eye appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
And welcome now to move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead. Here in game 2, trying to rebound from a 7-4 loss in the first game of the day. As ICC and Gulf Coast quickly closing in on the playoffs. Of course, ICC currently leading the conference, tied with Jones in the overall #1 spot. Jones is out of conference play today as they're playing Baton Rouge.
Third baseman number 20, Anna Hembry.
So they're playing Baton Rouge, so they're not in conference play today. Everybody else is in conference play. Is that pitch up high for a ball? 7, 8, 9 batters due up here. Hembry, Massey, and Sexton for the Bulldogs of Gulf Coast. Olivia Burns still in the circle here for the Indians. Grounder to the second baseman, eats it up, throws it over, and in time for the putout, 4-3 of Hembry. And now up be the right fielder, Massey. She was a tough out in the first game of the day. She went 2 for 3 with a double, a triple, and a walk. Or excuse me, went 2 for 2 with a walk. I'll try to give you some final scores in softball here in a moment. That first pitch missing for a ball. Second pitch inside and low. Game 1 final in 6 innings. Pearl River takes care of Northwest 14-2. East Central, wow, takes care of Mississippi Delta 21-1. Jones knocks off Baton Rouge in 5 innings, 11-1. Colin knocks off Northeast 4-2. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. The game you saw here, Gulf Coast picks up a 7-4 win over the Indians. Hines defeats Holmes 4-1. No report on the Meridian and Coahoma score yet. Game 2, East Central completes the sweep of Delta with a 10-0 win. Pearl River hangs on to win in extra innings 9-6 over Northwest. And Hines completes the sweep of Holmes with a 4-0 win. Jones County picks up an 8-2 win to sweep Baton Rouge. As now the count goes 2-2. So it's going to be an interesting chase to the finish between these teams. Of course, the top 8 teams make it to the playoffs. You have that 3-game play-in series to the state tournament. Ground ball, second baseman makes the diving stop. Throw over is in time. Nicely done over there at second. And a nice stretch by Shelby Newsom to get the ground out, 4-3. Back-to-back 4-3 putouts of the batters, and now it'll be the number 9 batter. This will be Sexton, the center fielder.
Center fielder number 12, Megan Sexton with 2 outs.
So 2 away now as the wind picks up here in Gulfport. This pitch popped back and out of play for strike 1. We're on the campus of Harrison Central High School, playing in a very, 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 very big ballpark. I'd like to see what Kevin Maloney's description of this ballpark would be. He likes to make comments from time to time about how small some ballparks are. Would not be talking about how small this one is. This pitch fouled back off the netting for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count. Next up for the Indians, I believe, will be Wednesday afternoon. They'll have sophomore day against Coahoma. Gulf Coast will travel to Northwest. That's also, or excuse me, that's actually scheduled for Monday, and there's strike 3. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. A nice pitch there to get the 3-up, 3-down inning, and that's the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for Olivia Burns. 3-up, 3-down, go the Bulldogs. We've played 3. ICC leads it 2-0 as we head to the top of the 4th. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
The new Extra Most Bestest Pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message.
Surrender to the toppings.
Incredible! Extra Most Bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back as Bailey Springfield will lead us off here in the top of the 4th. ICC up 2-0.
In the top of the 4th inning, shortstop number 21, Bailey Springfield.
So Springfield swings on the first pitch she sees. High fly ball out to left field for out number 1. So Springfield not waiting to see very many pitches in that at-bat. A hard hit fly ball out to left for out number 1. And now what will be Olivia Burns. Burns singled and advanced into scoring position and actually advanced over to third before she was left stranded in the second. 2-0 ICC with a lead. There's a slow ground ball over to first base, who will scoop it up, step on the bag for out number 2. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. That's what you call doing work. Mingo not getting deep into the pitch count here. 2 away now. And this is going to be the number 9 batter, third baseman Joanna Vasquez coming to the plate. Takes a look at that pitch, outside corner for a strike. JoJo has moved into that starting position at third base about 3 weeks ago. It's played pretty solid over there at third. So that pitch missing high and outside. 1-1 now is the count. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. JoJo looks at that pitch low. 2-1 now is the count here on Vasquez. If she were to reach, then we'll go back to the top of the lineup with Corey Childs for the Indians. And this one flew out to right field. Right fielder is going to adjust and makes the put out to end the inning. So a 3-up, 3-down inning there in the 4th. First time the Indians have been retired in order. A quick inning there. ICC will take a 2-0 lead to the bottom half of the inning. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What if Mississippi's community and junior colleges didn't exist? You'd see a much different Mississippi, one without these degrees. And the jobs that come from them. One where many would fail to get a higher education because affordable community and junior college is their only hope. We're in danger of this happening thanks to state budget cuts. In fact, Mississippi once ranked #1 in America's community and junior college systems. #1. But now has slipped out of the top 10, way out, which is already a consequence of budget cuts. So, what if community and junior colleges didn't exist? If budget cuts continue, we may well find out. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges.
And welcome back now as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead here. As we get set for the bottom of the 4th, it'll be the 1-2-3 batters due up. Wall, Triplett, and Garrett. Olivia Burns still in the circle. See if we can find an update on baseball. Oh, wow. Well, things have gotten interesting in baseball. Southwest played 6 on 6 hits, including a grand slam to tie the game at 8-8 in the middle of the 5th in Game 2. That's over there on the Blue Channel. Boy, things escalated in a hurry there in Fulton. Well, the wind's blowing directly into the ballpark now. It's shifted dramatically here in the bottom of the 4th. Wall, the DP, at the plate. Fouls this one back off the netting for a strike.
Sam, let's go.
Score showing 0-1 is the count. Don't know if that's necessarily correct. That pitch across for a strike. Umpire, yep, 1-2 is the count. That's what I was thinking it was. So he does show it. 1-2 now goes the count here on Wall. So what are the 1-2 offering here? A little slow roller. It's going to go foul. We'll stay at 1-2. Pretty good break there for the Indians as Wall's got good speed. Quick first step out of the box. Well, welcome to Alex and Greg Brown watching here on Let's Go ICC TV. Swung on and missed for strike 3. That is the 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout for Olivia Burns, back-to-back strikeouts for the freshman out of Grenada. Actually, Coffeyville claims Grenada. So now with 1 out in the inning, Triplett, who's single but was caught stealing to end the 1st, will come to the plate. Little change up, waited on it. Throw over is in time, 5-3 to retire Triplett. For those that may be wondering, you haven't seen Meg Sullivan in the lineup here in Game 2. She was shaken up in the first game of the day. You know, Dana Kirk was with her at the hospital earlier. I think they were actually maybe on their way to the ballpark. She sent me a text earlier, said that they were watching from the hospital. It was on a throw back into the infield, so we can't and don't really want to guess what the injury was, as there was a nice pitch high and inside. Batter couldn't hold off on it for strike 1. She has had a history of shoulder injuries, so hopefully nothing serious, though, there for Meg. Should know she's feeling okay. As that pitch across for a strike, as she sent a text saying, just make sure my Crocs don't get left at the ballpark. So, Meg, if you are watching back at the hospital still, we got you covered. So 0-2 now is the count. Pitch up high for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Not a bad spot to miss that time. for Burns, see if he couldn't get Garrett chasing. But good eye by Garrett. Of course, when we talk about having a good eye, we talk about the Cagle Eye Center right there in Fulton. This pitch foul back off the pole and right back into play. And so 1-2 stays the count. They're going to look at the ball, make sure it's okay. As that was a pretty hard pop off the pipe. Second time we've seen that today, actually. So 1-2 now is the count, 2 outs. Garrett, the second baseman, at the plate. Pitch missing outside, not a bad spot to miss. See if you couldn't get a slap hitter to chase that one. Count now goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on here for the Bulldogs. So waiting the 2-2 offering here from Burns. Change up. Vasquez with it, zips it over in time for the putout. 5-3 for those of you that may be scoring at home. 3 up, 3 down go the Bulldogs there in the bottom of the 4th. ICC takes a 2-0 lead as we'll head to the top of the 5th. Before we do that, we'll take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most bestest for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza. Gotta be hoops and wings.
Nah, subs.
Wings all day.
How about a sub?
Dude, wings.
No.
Really?
Gotta have ice cold Coke.
I'll drink to that. Now that's how it's done.
And welcome back as we get set now here for the top of the 5th inning. ICC with a 2-0 lead here over the Bulldogs in Game 2. They dropped the first game of the day, 7-4. So it'll be Childs, Conley, and Newsom. Due up. That pitch across right down Broadway for a strike on Childs. Corey struck out swinging in her last at-bat, walked, stole a base, and scored a run in her first. Ball in the dirt, 1-1 now is the count. Got to give a shout-out to Don Hammock, the SID here at Gulf Coast, even though we're not on Gulf Coast campus playing today. As always, grade A hospitality from Don. There's a shot right back up the middle, return to center. Shortstop makes a diving effort, can't get to it, and that's going to be a hit for Childs. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Just right back to the pitcher. Shortstop almost overran it. And that'll go for a single for Corey.
Number 11, Samantha Conley.
This will be Samantha Conley. She had an RBI single in her first at bat. Stole a base, scored a run. She also flew out to left to end the second. So the Indians trying to pick up an insurance run here in the top of the 5th. That pitch up high for a ball. That was the 35th steal of the season for Corey Childs. I'm almost willing, safe to say that she does have the career total steals record at ICC. I'll have to go back and double check that over the weekend. 1-1 now is the count here to Conley. And that's a beauty. Right there at the knees. Boy, would have loved to see some of those strike calls in the first game of the day. First, the umpire who was in the infield here in Game 2, his strike zone was about halfway from your hips to your knees, about halfway up your leg to your chest. And there's a hard hit ground ball, a little hit and run action. And that's going to go through for a base hit by Conley. And Childs able to get over to third after the ball was bobbled around a little bit. The throw was nearly in time, but Corey was able to get there. So we give Conley a single advance on the error. Such was the case for Childs.
Number 22, first baseman Shelby Newsom.
And now up is going to be Shelby Newsom. Newsom 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out to center field and a ground out to the shortstop. Boy, a base hit here would be huge for the Indians. Shelby takes that first pitch across for a strike. No outs, runners on second and third here for the Indians. Shows bunt, lays it down, squeeze play, only one play, and that's over to first. And the sacrifice bunt works to perfection. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. Bunted it out forward, so the only play she had was over to first. 1-4 on the sacrifice bunt put out, but that was an RBI. That scored Childs, and the Indians now go up 3-0, and this will be Macy Cox coming to the plate. That first pitch, ooh, good looking pitch, caught a ball. Well, I do apologize for not having the multiple cameras going today, as some of our equipment on the fritz. Shows bunt, they're going to try to squeeze it again. The toss is in time. So Macy will reach on a fielder's choice, scouted well that time, just the bunt went straight ahead instead of pushing it down that first baseline. Fielder's choice is how Cox will reach 1-2 on the putout to retire Conley. And so now with 2 outs in the inning, this will bring up Mackenzie Piper. She had an RBI double back in the first and popped up to second. Back in the third.
Right fielder number 18, Mackenzie Piper.
And so Piper will try to extend the inning here with 2 outs. ICC leading it 3-0. There's a shot if it's going to drop. No! Another amazing play out there in left field. That has been the second time today we've seen Davis make some amazing plays out there in left field, and that one robs a extra base hit of Piper and keeps a run off the board. The Indians get 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We'll take a break and be back with more. ICC leads it 3-0 as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
For limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
And welcome back. 3-0 is your score as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Indians trying to earn a split this afternoon with the Bulldogs after they lost the first game of the day, 7-4. 6 of the Bulldogs' hits went for extra bases, as we said, playing at a really big ballpark this afternoon, but you're playing on the same field, so ICC could not take advantage of those same opportunities that the Bulldogs were able to cash in on. And be perfectly honest with you, almost played the perfect game, as that's going to hit White. And so she will head down to first base. And we'll give her a second to kind of walk that one off, Olivia Burns. First free pass, and yeah, I always hate to call a batter getting hit by a pitch, a free pass. So they're going to probably bring in a runner for the catcher in this case. And that will be the case. Coming in to run here will be Katie Beth Williams for the Bulldogs.
For the Bulldogs, number 25, Katie Beth Williams.
So no outs and a runner on first. Bulldogs trying to rally here in the bottom of the fifth inning. ICC with a 3-0 lead. Baseball, it was Southwest rallying, to tie it 8-8, and the Indians push across a run to take a 9-8 lead after 5 complete. Jackson Lancaster singled up the middle to score Kyle Weaver to give the Indians that 9-8 lead. It was a grand slam that highlighted that 6-run inning, as this is a pop-up. Springfield going back and makes the play, and cannot get the throw over as Newsom tried to stretch out to get the double play. The throw would have been a bang-bang play. I think she would have gotten back safely, even if the throw would have been a little bit, or she would have held on to the throw, I should say, as the extreme stretch right there ends up in the dirt. Good to see that Shelby was able to get up as the runner sliding back into the bag kind of made a little bit of contact, nothing malicious in that sorts. So with 1 out in the inning now and a runner on first, this will be Mingo at the plate. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. Trying to update the standings as I know them right now. As that pitch outside, snap throw down to first, not in time. Indians 21-2, as we said. Jones not in action today, so they cannot improve their standings. Well, they could if ICC drops the game 2 here. East Central improves to 16-8. Snap throw is not in time again. Ooh, runner kind of skidded or tripped up getting back and was slid back safely. Shows bunt, takes it for a ball. And just trying to look over some scores, and the winds continue to pick up here at the ballpark. Shows bunt, the ball gets away. Actually, they're going to say foul ball. That one bouncing off the leg of our catcher, Samantha Conley. Going to give her a chance to kind of walk that one off. This pitch popped up. Hannah Williams out in left field, calls everyone off and squeezes it for the putout. So right now, ICC and Jones tied for first place. East Central is at third. Hines is fourth. Northeast is currently in fifth. Pearl River sixth. Gulf Coast seventh. Colin eighth. East Mississippi on the outside looking in right now at 13-11. Of course, we'll know better tomorrow when, who's, what, when, where, and why in the conference standings when all these games go final. That pitch across for a strike. 2 outs and a runner on first now. Here for Gulf Coast, we're in the bottom of the fifth. ICC with a 3-0 lead. Well, good to see Miss Dana's back, so Dana's back. That means Meg Sullivan's probably back somewhere at the ballpark. As that pitch fouled out of play, 0-2 now is the count here on Hembry. Hembry grounded out 4-3 in her first at bat. 0-2 now is the count. So waiting the 0-2 pitch here, change up, missing outside. 1-2 now is the count. That pitch missing outside for a ball. They're in the middle of the 6th in game 2. ICC and Southwest Indians, number 19 team in the country, trying to find a way to sweep Southwest. Southwest not going quietly into the 9th as the Indians lead 9-8. Good looking pitch to ring her up on there. As a matter of fact, Hembry thought that was strike 3. I think the only person in the ballpark that did not think that was strike 3 was the home plate umpire. He said it was a little bit too inside. So 3-2 now is the count here on Hembry. This pitch jammed her, popped up. Conley goes over and makes the play. Nicely done by Samantha Conley, hustling to get out of that catcher position to make the play and end the inning. We've played 5 here in game 2. ICC with a 3-0 lead. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back now. So move to the top of the 6th inning. ICC with a 3-0 lead here over Gulf Coast in game 2. This is going to be Hannah Williams at the plate. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. I do see Meg Sullivan back at the ballpark. She does have her arm in a sling. So hopefully just a precautionary measure there for Meg. And there's a ground ball right to the first baseman. Ran up her arm, but she was able to hang on to it for the putout. It's been the most ground balls I've seen hit to a first baseman in a series. I think it's like the 4th ground ball to the first baseman. And now up is going to be Bailey Springfield. She's 0 for 2. Ground out to short and a fly out to left. And that first pitch across for a strike. So 0-1 is the count. Springfield fouls this one back off the netting. 0-2 now goes the count here on Bailey. So 0-2 with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 6th. Springfield pops this one up, and it's just going to go foul down the right field line. And we'll stay at 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here for the Indians. Top of the 6th, game 2. ICC trying to earn a split with Gulf Coast after dropping the first game of the day by the final score of 7-4. Springfield pops this one up over in the crowd of Gulf Coast and actually makes contact with one of the fans on the side of the leg. Hopefully she'll be okay, as really couldn't get out of the way quick enough that time. Kind of hit her in the hip. And now she's kind of laughing it off a little bit. Guess you don't know the rule is you get hit by a ball, you don't rub it. There's a shot right back up the middle. Bailey Springfield with a nice hit there. Take a look at that one on the Little Caesars instant replay. Springfield with her first hit here in game 2. It's a little liner out there to center field. And with 1 out now and a runner on first, this will be Olivia Burns. Burns singled back in the 2nd. Grounded out to the first baseman for the 2nd out of the 4th. Indians trying to pick up another insurance run here in the top of the 6th. That pitch, good looking pitch, missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count here. Coach Kurt wanting to take time here, probably going to get a runner in here in place of Springfield. And judging by the chance of the dugout, it's going to be Lily Moore coming in to run here. And that is going to be the case. Lily will come in to run for the Indians. So she'll take over at first base. And so now,
running for the Indians.
And now this is going to be Olivia Burns. As Moore takes over at first, Burns is at the plate. Burns could really help her own cause here with a base hit. Lifts one out to right field. Right fielder's going to drop back and go deep and catches it on the fly. Probably would have been one of those balls that may have snuck its way out of the ballpark in Fulton. Maybe to the fence. And now this is going to be Yates coming to the plate in place of Joanna Vasquez. So Kelsey Yates coming in to bat here. 2 outs and a runner on first.
And hitting for the Indians, number 25, Kelsey Yates.
So 3-0 is your score. Yates at the plate, Mingo ready, the catcher's ready. Only one that's not ready is the home plate umpire. As they both stepped up there at the same time, he said, hey, wait for me. Yates looks at that first pitch, paints that outside corner for a strike. I'll be glad to get out of this weather, as it has played heck on my throat. Runner goes, the throw down is not in time. Stolen base there for Lily. Take a look at that on the Little Caesars instant replay. The throw was in time, and the ball just got away. So now runner in scoring position here for the Indians. 2 outs, and Kelsey Yates at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. Here only sophomore out of Yazoo went to MRA. 1 right back to the pitcher, tosses it over for the putout. 1-3 of Yates. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base here in the top of the 6th. We'll take a break and come back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Helen, don't you know Little Caesars has the extra most bestest for $6?
$6? I gotta sit down.
Yeah, it has the most cheese and pepperoni for the nation's best price.
Most cheese and most pepperoni? I gotta sit all the way down.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza, pizza.
We do have a choice pawn position change here in the bottom of the 6th. Boots coming in to play in left field. And that looks to be the only move I've seen made so far by the Indians.
Leading off for the Lady Bulldogs. Bottom of the
Conley
6th
still
inning.
behind the plate. Burns still in the circle. Vasquez is at third. Springfield, your shortstop. Carnes is second base. First baseman still Newsom. Right fielder is still Mackenzie Piper. Center fielder is still, if I can see around, Conley.
Right fielder number 1.
Center fielder
Massey.
is still Corey Childs. So the new change is out in left field. That's Haley Reed coming in here for the Indians. I'm not sure what the umpire went over and said to the Indians dugout. Couldn't have said anything about them chanting because Gulf Coast has done their fair share of it today. I don't know. Don't know if they might be a substitution. This is still Massey at the plate. So Massey is 0 for 1 today, grounded out to second on a nice play by Madison Carnes. And Wright's ball swung on and missed for a strike. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs as Massey's leading us off here. It'll be the 8-9-1 batters due up in the bottom of the 6th. Indians leading 3-0, trying to earn the split here of Gulf Coast and hold on to that number 1 spot in the conference. As that pitch fouled out of play. 1-2 now goes the count here on Massey. Baseball, Indians are up 9-8 over Southwest after 6 complete. Good looking pitch there. Said it was up a little bit. Second time we've seen a pitch that even the Gulf Coast players have thought they were going to be called out on, not being called a strike. 2-2 now is the count. That pitch missing low, 3-2. Goes the count now here to Massey. Three balls, 2 strikes, no out as Massey's leading us off here in the bottom of the 6th. Do want to say a special hello to those from Gulf Coast area watching as this deep fly ball, Boots heading out there in left field, will get it for the putout of Massey. I understand I was talking with some of the Gulf Coast fans to the left of me before the games today. Said they got some family watching in Illinois, some out in Arizona. I'm very jealous of those of you living in Arizona, one of my most favorite parts of the world. I try to get out there at least once every few years. A good buddy of mine lives out in Chandler, Odie Armstrong, former ICC student athlete, went on to star in the AFL for the Arizona Rattlers as that pitch across for a strike. Won numerous Arena Bowl championships out there with the Rattlers in Phoenix. Showing bunt, ends it foul. 0-2 now is the count here. I believe this is still Sexton that is batting. Megan Sexton at the plate here for the Bulldogs. 0-2 is the count now. That pitch missing outside. Not a bad spot to miss if you couldn't get her to chase one. Good eye by Sexton to hold off on that one. 1-2 now goes the count. Of course, our next broadcast will be Wednesday with baseball here on the Red Channel as they play Coahoma. So that pitch missing outside. 2-2 now is the count. Softball will also be hosting Coahoma on on Wednesday. That will be on the Blue Channel. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch coming. Ground ball, and it's off the glove of a diving Vasquez for a hit for Sexton. Good effort over there by JoJo at third base. Just could not quite get enough of it. Even if she does stop it, it would have been a base hit as she wouldn't have had enough to get over there and get the throw out of Sexton. It was like the Indians. That's actually from game 1. Yep, that's going to do it. Game 2 is now final in baseball. as ICC sweeps Southwest with a 9-8 final in game 2. Change up, waited on it, fouled off though, as this is Wall at the plate for the Bulldogs. So ICC baseball gets a sweep, a much needed sweep there, as they have kind of just been in a skid. So hopefully the Indians could get back on the good side of things there after picking up the sweep of Southwest this afternoon in Fulton. That pitch missing high and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Eerie, cloudy skies here near the coast. We're in Gulfport on the campus of Harrison Central High School. Change up that falls off the table. Runner now trying to go and will. And she'll advance on the pass ball. Well, it's one of those there. If Conley could have found it off the first grab, once the runner could have committed to going, she would have had her out dead to rights. Ball kind of just fell in a little bit of a divot in the dirt behind her and rolled away from her as she was trying to grab it. 2-1 now is the count here on Wall. Runner in scoring position. First time they've had a runner in scoring position this afternoon. And there's a strike. 2-2 now is the count here on Wall. Matter of fact, that was the first hit. You have to go all the way back to the first inning to find the Bulldogs' last hit, and that was by Triplett on the second at-bat of the game, and she was erased. Ooh, good-looking pitch there. Not sure where that one missed. 3-2 is the count. I'm going to say it was inside. I like this home plate umpire. When he says, whenever I say I'm not sure where it's missed, he shows me where it goes. And this one popped up into right field. Piper comes in and makes the play. So 2 away now. Runner stays at second. And this would be Triplett. Triplett had a single but was erased when she was caught stealing in the first. So she'll dig in here, try to spark a 2-out rally here for the Bulldogs. That pitch right down Broadway for a strike. 0-1 now is the count. This one lifted, trouble. No, there's Boots making the play. Great running play by Haley Reed out there in left field. That one, I don't know if it would have been a fair ball, but if it would have been down and running for days, and the run would have scored. 3-0 is your score after 6 complete. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Hey, Mississippi, let's fill the gap. Did you know Mississippi's community and junior colleges fill the gap between high school and skilled careers? Or that community and junior colleges are also a great value to students? It's true. Not only can they get degrees in these fields, they can actually afford the tuition to get them there. And did you realize that 96% of the state's community and junior college students are Mississippians? Not only that, they tend to stay in the state when they're done with college. And the more students that do so, the more skilled workers we'll have to fill the gap for jobs. And the more people to fill the job gaps, the more money stays in the state. Plus, the value of community and junior colleges in Mississippi is unbeatable. For every dollar the state puts into community and junior colleges, it gets $4.86 back, an almost 5-to-1 return on investment. So, come on, Mississippi. Contact your legislator and tell them to support Mississippi's community and junior colleges. And let's fill the gap.
Center fielder number 7, Corey Childs.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the top of the 7th inning. ICC leading 3-0, Corey Childs will lead us off here. Takes that first pitch across for a strike. Well, the Indians would love to pick up a couple of insurance runs here in the top of the top of the 7th. Should just feel a bit extra comfortable. It's a bunt laid down, only one play, and that's going to be over to first, and it's in time. Got her by a half a step. Nicely done that time by Mingo, defending her position to be able to get the first out.
11,
and this is going to be Samantha Conley. Conley is 2 for 3 on the day. She has an RBI, 2 singles, and scored a runs, also stolen a base. That pitch at the knees, across for a strike. As I said earlier, got a chance to meet Sam's mom between games. This pitch foul back off the netting. 0-2 now is the count. We do appreciate if any of her other friends or family are watching here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. I know we've got a lot watching back in North Mississippi that couldn't make the drive down here. Really not that bad of a drive as that pitch inside corner for a strike, and Conley knew it as soon as it was there. It was up a little bit, but enough in the zone to call it strike 3.
The 2 outs. First baseman.
That is the third Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. With 2 outs now, this is going to be Shelby Newsome coming to the plate. Well, this late in the ballgame, the strike zone has all of a sudden opened up, which is fine by me as long as it stays open in the bottom half of the inning. ICC leading 3-0. Newsome, ground ball to the shortstop, gets it. Plenty of time to throw low, but scooped up out of the dirt for the putout. 3 up, 3 down. The Indians go there in the top of the 7th. Bulldogs down to their final outs of the contest. We'll take a break and come back with the bottom half of the 7th inning right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
I could get the extra most bestest with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for $6. Or I could get a pizza with less toppings for more money.
Get the most cheese and most pepperoni for the nation's best price. Little Caesars large $6 extra most bestest.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back. Now to move to the bottom of the 7th inning. ICC trying to hang on to this 3-0 lead here to earn the split this afternoon with Gulf Coast. The Bulldogs picked up 7-4 win in the first game of the day. They had 9 hits, 6 of those going for extra bases. Pretty much would have been routine plays. Maybe 1 or 2 of them would have found their way out of the ballpark. ICC had about 3 hits that would have been out of the ballpark, so been interesting to see if we would have played on a regulation size field. Not complaining about it because, I mean, you play on the same field, you're playing with the same dimensions. Gulf Coast doing a good job of taking advantage of that in the first game of the day. Is that pitch missing low for a ball? So 1-0 is the count. Olivia Burns still in the circle here, trying to go the distance for the Indians. Rise ball couldn't hold off of it that time. Could Garrett. Garrett, White, and Hobson all due up here. The 3-4-5 batters, the heart of the lineup here for the Bulldogs, due up in the bottom of the 7th. Change up, hangs up. 2-1 now is the count. Well, our next games will be on Wednesday, as we said. A home doubleheader, actually. Very rare that we have that. As baseball will host Coahoma, softball will host Coahoma. It'll be a sophomore day for softball. That'll be available on the blue channel. Baseball will be on the red channel. Fastball swung on and missed for strike 2. Garrett was heading to the dugout. Conley told her it was only 2. She's kind of come back with a chuckle. And there's strike 3. Beautiful pitch there by Olivia Burns. Even more animated. Strike 3 called that time by the home plate umpire. That is the fourth Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Burns. And now up is going to be the catcher, White. She was hit by a pitch, flew out to center field. Now this is going to be a dangerous ball out to right field. And Piper, though, comes in and makes the play. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's what you like right there if you're a pitcher. Now 2 away. And this will be Hobson, the first baseman.
First baseman number 8, Maya Hobson.
So Hobson will dig in, trying to spark a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 7th. Game 2, ICC leading 3-0. Change up, and it was a beauty across for a strike. Hobson was just frozen on that one. 0-1 is the count, 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Bulldogs. That pitch, a little off-speed pitch that clips the corner of the plate. 0-2 now is the count here on Hobson. Can Burns end it with a Renaissance Bank strikeout? 0-2 offering. Pitch is popped up. Newsom will go over and squeeze it in foul territory, and that will do it. The Indians get a 3-up, 3-down inning there to earn the split. With the Bulldogs, ICC scores 3 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And looks like 1 error. Bulldogs, no runs on 2 hits. And no errors. Your Legend Sports Grill Legend of the game. Let's give that to Olivia Burns. Burns, an impressive performance today. Scattered 2 hits, struck out 4, didn't walk anybody, only hit 1 batter. So Olivia Burns will be our Legend Sports Grill Legend of the game. Let's take a look at some Sonic stats, and let's start with Gulf Coast. Wall was 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Triplett was 1 for 3 with a single she was caught stealing back in the first. Garrett was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. White was 0 for 2. She was hit by a pitch. Hobson was 0 for 3. Mingo was 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Hembry was 0 for 2. Massey 0 for 2. Sexton was 1 for 2 with a strikeout. For your Indians, it was Corey Childs, who was 1 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored, and a strikeout. She also stole a base. Samantha Conley was 2 for 4, a pair of singles, an RBI, a run scored, and a strikeout. Newsom was 0 for 3 on the day. She did have a sacrifice bunt that pushed across a run. She did have an RBI. Macy Cox was 0 for 2 with the walk. She did reach on a fielder's choice. Mackenzie Piper was 1 for 3. She had an RBI double back in the first. Hannah Williams was 0 for 3 on the day. She did have a strikeout. Bailey Springfield 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen, that was Lily Moore who came in and had the stolen base. Burns 1 for 3 with a single. Vasquez was 0 for 2. She did reach on an error and stole a base. And then Kelsey Yates 0 for 1 on the day. Softball will be back in action on Wednesday when they play host to Coahoma. That'll be sophomore day there in Fulton. Always a special day for our sophomores. As that game 1 coming your way at 2 o'clock. Game 2 scheduled for 4 o'clock. That's Wednesday, April the 18th versus Coahoma. For those that are watching in favor of Gulf Coast, your next game will be on Monday at Northwest. 2 o'clock is the opening pitch there. Gulf Coast improves to 16-12 on the year. 11-9 in conference play for the Indians. They move to, where did my sheet of paper go? There we go. The Indians move to 31-7 and 22-2 in conference play. They still hold that head-to-head tiebreaker over Jones so far to maintain that number 1 spot in the conference. Well, that's going to do it. We do appreciate everyone tuning in here on Let's Go ICC TV this afternoon, all the way down in Gulfport on the campus of Harrison Central High School. We'll see you Wednesday here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Red Channel Baseball, Blue Channel Softball. ICC splits with Gulf Coast, dropping Game 1 7-4, winning Game 2 3-0. This has been Adam Gore. We'll see you next time, folks, right here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Cagle Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.